there's a section which believes that basically is the concept of security, of national security, that is behind the line of argument that you are taking right now. Is that so?
No, I don't think my concern is not national security on this level. This is just a purely economic assessment
And social issue.
And social issue that, if you want to develop this economy, you have to have the ability to provide these services anywhere you think is necessary. And this will not happen if it's under private control.
And do you think that then it has to be subsidized, some of these services?
Absolutely, it has to be subsidized. Absolutely. Where you think a subsidy is necessary, you should use it. I mean, this is
then doesn't it promote inefficiency?
I think, this issue of efficiency has been used as the argument for all this privatization. And I think it's somewhat of a red herring. It's the issue is that you are a government. You have a set of problems that you have to solve. You'd have to try and do your best. If there are inefficiencies, let me just put it this way: it is not written that a government has to be inefficient. It is not carved in stone that a government cannot run something efficiently. It's a challenge, and I think governments should rise to the challenge. Our government, they can't rise to the challenge right now for sure with the people who run it, but it's possible. It's not impossible. And really, if you want to take this country forward, you can't do it without full control over these assets. You can't do it.
Are you referring to something of a technocrats putting up as running a government?
No, I'm not referring to technocrats running a government at all. I'm just saying that these assets have to be under government control, and the government must control what to do with them, how to do it, how to price their services. This must be, even if it results in inefficiencies.
Let's get to something else. Pakistani stock markets. There has been a lot of discussion in recent years that there has been speculation has been playing a part in it, and there were people who were putting in money and taking it off and on as per their whims, and that deprives the common people of their assets in big way. What do you think is the role of the stock markets in the emerging scenario?
Actually, I think the role of stock markets has been distorted in all economies, and you are seeing the latest crisis is just the start of the blowback from that distortion. Our feeling, our view, is that the role of stock markets in any economy, but because we are really concerned about Pakistan, let's just talk about our context. The role of a stock market should be to provide a mechanism for long-term financing of projects, whether these are industrial projects or whether they are agricultural projects. It is an intermediary, a mechanism that is put into place so that investors can move, so that private money can be used to develop industry or projects related to agriculture and so on. I think stock markets should have a long-term outlook. What has happened now, unfortunately, and what we will try our best to put an end to, is the use of stock markets as a kind of a casino, where many players come in and they manipulate it, they use it for short-term gains, which is detrimental to the nation. I mean, people do make short-term profits. Some of them are very marvelous, substantial profits. But that is kind of short-circuiting the purpose of a stock market. The purpose of a stock market is and should be to provide stable, long-term capital. And that has been undermined by all these speculators. And they're not just local speculators now. Foreign funds come in. They're free to come in. They will one day bring in several $100 million or tens of millions of dollars and move it out the next day. Now, for a stock market like Pakistan, this is extremely disruptive. And it doesn't bring, let's put it this way, it doesn't bring to us as a country the long-term investments that are needed, because investments that are made on the ground are long-term investments.
So are you going to put some restrictions on
We
those?
will absolutely put some restrictions. We will put restrictions on speculation. Most likely we will put restrictions on international access to our markets, because it is purely speculative in nature. I mean, what is the net result of what has happened is that short-term deposits are financing long-term assets. And this is unstable and undesirable. And that's what we will seek to end. We will try and restore, through whatever mechanisms we can bring to bear, the stock market in Pakistan, or the markets that exist in Pakistan. We will try and return them to their role where investors are long-term investors and where their role is to finance the development of industry.
But are you realizing that that could be a great disruption? For instance, Karachi Stock Exchange, its index could go down from something 9,000 plus right now to something like 3,000-4,000 at a point in time.
It's possible. One has to prepare for all possibilities. But I think doing the right thing is more important than sort of short-term disruptions to something that is already very, very short-term. I mean, this index could go down to 3,000 in any case, whether we do something or not. Something happens, some political incident somewhere could, and it has in the recent past. You have seen things happen. So I wouldn't hold that. I wouldn't use. I mean, I wouldn't be worried about that preventing us from taking the sort of decisions that are in the long-term interest of Pakistan. That's our primary interest, the long-term success and viability of Pakistan.